I'm sure you all remember the pilot episode of SpongeBob SquarePants, Help Wanted. What most people don't know, however, is that there was an earlier episode entitled Bob the Sponge, dating back to 1998. Or rather my niece, stumbled across a page on the Nickelodeon website asking for my details to join some sort of SpongeBob SquarePants fan club, which I hesitantly signed up for. A few days later, a SpongeBob box set arrived at my house by carrier, along with a single VHS with the label Bob the Sponge 1998. The episode started with a black screen. The music was pretty unnerving. It sounded like a slowed down ukulele tune being played backwards, and it was continuously looping throughout the episode. After about 20 seconds, a still image of Tom Kenny dressed as Patchy the Pirate sifting in an oversized bathtub appeared, staying for exactly 6 seconds, followed by the title card reading Bob the Sponge in a plain font. Then the episode began. It was basically SpongeBob, or Bob the Sponge, going around Bikini Bottom visiting his friends. Only there were no voices despite the characters moving their mouths. This Bikini Bottom, however, was really different from the one we are accustomed to. Some of the major differences being Sandy. She had no underwater gear, and her house was a big log cabin, not the tree dome seen in later episodes. Mr. Krabs. He is seen with a female crab, who may be his wife, or an early version of Pearl. Squidward. His house is a windmill as opposed to the Easter Island head seen in the rest of the series. Also, his house has changed places with Patrick's house. Plankton. He seems to be the same size as the other characters. His body is red and he only has one antenna sticking out of the top of his head. Nothing unusual seems to happen in the episode up until the end. SpongeBob was standing in the middle of the nowhere looking up into the sky and laughing. The screen then panned up to show just what he was laughing at. Sandy's drowned corpse, floating on the water's surface. Her body just bobbed in the water for about 10 seconds, after which the episode began playing backwards until it got back to the live action still of Patchy. The title card appeared again. This time the font was nearly illegible, like it was handwritten. The episode started playing again, though there was no buildings or anything, just characters interacting on a bright green background. This time, when the characters opened their mouths to talk, garbled sound came out, though I couldn't really understand them. The episode played, though, like it was until it got to the image of Sandy's dead body. The episode began playing backward once again, and this time it got to the image of Patchy the Pirate. He got up and started screaming really loudly and thrashing his limbs, while his bloodshot eyes darted frantically. The episode started again, with the same handwritten title card. The sounds of Tom Kenny screaming and splashing were still present. This time there was just colored blurs moving around a black background, making really unsettling gargling noises. It played like this until it got to the end, and however this time it cut straight to Patchy the Pirate, who simply said, "Hey kids, stay tuned for Help Wanted," before cutting to 7 minutes of static.